Hey guys, and welcome to episode 14 of Kingdom Business TV. My name's Wez Hone, and for the next little bit of time, we're going to be talking all things Facebook for today's show. So we have our first guest here on this episode. We always said we would, from time to time, bring some experts on who have got some knowledge, and so we have Dave Granfield from Big Pixel joining us for episode 14. I've known Dave a little while, maybe 18 months or something, and he's done a bit of work for us. Some of the stuff you've seen is a result of what Dave has done, so we thought we'd drag him on here and we'll get you guys to ask your curly questions around your Facebook ads, Facebook content, and things like that. And here's the thing, right? He's here. I reckon you guys should ask your hardest, curliest questions.
And I will answer them on stage at the summit.
and at the end of the day, I'm not paying him to be here, so let's make it really hard work for Dave. Why don't you lead off? Tell us a bit about BidPixel, why you started it, what makes them unique, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Wes. So BidPixel came around. We used to be a full service agency. We did websites, we worked on SEO for clients, and we really just felt that we were an agency just like everyone else. There was no point of difference. We were just treading water, running that treadmill, doing what we needed to do. And we really, Liam, my business partner, and I really just took a moment and took a step back out of our business and a big helicopter overview. And it was just, let's be good at one thing. Let's find that blue ocean, which is the analogy of you can be close to shore and you can be swimming with the sharks, or you can swim out a little bit further and get that little bit of blue ocean for yourself. And we really, at the time, Facebook advertising was growing as a massive thing. There weren't a lot of agencies specializing in just one niche like that. And we took the leap of faith and did it.
So interesting. It interests me that you, in 2018 or 17, when did you start?
Late 16.
That you would pick a professional services firm. Out of all the things you could have chosen, it would have to be one of the hardest ways to scale a business. So what were you thinking there, right? As co-founder with Liam, what were you thinking?
I guess we had a few different specialties that we were good at already. And I'm a very creative person. Liam's a really analytical person. And we were playing to our strengths in that regard. I can have the client conversations. We can build amazing copywriting and imagery. And then Liam was really good at the analytical side of things. So he could deep dive into clients' accounts and really find answers for people and help us scale people's business faster.
Right. So you had the skill set from day one.
We had the skill set, and we found there was a hole in the market there for us.
Guys, if you want your questions answered by Dave or me or a bit of both, then send a question through to Business Greenhouse. Put your phone number. One of my team will reach out to you and we'll get you patched through to us, and we will answer your question live on Kingdom Business TV. There's a couple of people there that have put a question up, so we will see if we can get them and get them to call in. So Dave, you came to Kingdom Business Summit 2018.
Yes,
you
correct,
came to all four of them.
All four.
Give me, because these guys, not enough of these guys have booked their tickets, right? So give me the 2 cents. What's your skinny on them? Like, where do they fit? What's the best thing about them? Like, give us your 2 cents on Kingdom Business Summit.
I guess I'll give you the two things that I got out of Kingdom Business Summit last year. And number one was a prophetic word that got prayed over me at the time. And our business was quite young. And that is a fantastic word that has come to realization, which is amazing. The second one was meeting thousands of Christian business owners and not feeling like it's something that I had to hide my belief while conducting business. I've now got a network of over 1,000 people who actively love and care that we are a Christian organization and that we are run by Christians, and they praise that and not turn away from us.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, cool. That's very cool. So the prophetic word that Dave's talking about here is the ministry time we have at the end. So at the end of the 2 days, we get rid of all the business teaching. We bring in some people in the prophetic, and we just have some space and some time for people to get a word from the Lord. And I love hearing those stories, how it actually meant something to you and it's come to pass. That's pretty common for me to hear that, which is super, super cool. All right, so there'll be heaps of people out there that'll run Facebook ads, right? because I think everybody by now has had a go at it.
Yep.
I reckon majority of the time people come back to me, they're like, it doesn't work or it didn't work. What would you say to that?
They're probably right. Like the harsh reality is 80% of Facebook ads will fail.
80%?
80% of ads will fail. Now, for a small business owner that's throwing $10 here or a couple of days of ads there, chances are their ads are going to be that 80% that fail. And it's not until you break through, do a lot of testing, spend enough money that you actually find what starts to work and you actually can invest into what's working and scale the 20% that was actually feasible to run.
Spending enough money would be ambiguous, but give us an idea. Like, what sort of amounts are we talking that are throwaway? Because if I go back to running ads in 2013, you could get results on 20 and $50. Not so much anymore. So where do people need to be at, do you think? And that would be different for service and product, but give us an idea on where people need to be at financially to be able to run the chance of getting it right.
Yeah, sure. So realistically, you need to be spending $20 to $50 a day on advertising and on one objective. So you can't be spending $20 and try to throw mud at the wall 3 different times. $20, one objective. Are you looking for leads in a certain area of your business? As in, are you a childcare centre and you want enrolments? You can't be looking for 3 different objectives for that cost. Now, you need to be running that for probably 45 days at a minimum and commit to that. But at the end of the day, that's all relevant to what you're going to pay to acquire your lead or your sale and essentially how much you've spent to achieve that. And that's where it gets good. That's where it's fun.
So that's between $600 and $1,500 a month.
A month, correct.
On Facebook spend.
On the spend itself, on advertising.
Good.
Any less than that, and there's just not a benchmark for success.
Talk into lifetime value, acquisition cost, because I think, well, I don't know if you know this, but obviously in our campaign, we've spent, I don't know what the number is now, 75 grand. I think that's about the number.
All in.
Yep. And we've produced 2.2 million in revenue from 75 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of those stories. People hear those stories and go, oh, that's what it should be for me as a dentist, right? And it's not normally the case. What are you seeing? What do you think people's expectations should be when it comes to running ads?
I guess the hard thing is there's so much chatter online now of those successes, and every guru talks about a massive success while they're driving a Lamborghini or sitting on a rented yacht. The issue that you've got is the ads are only one portion of this thing you call a sales funnel. If your website hasn't got the shared message, if your sales team is not succinct in what you're trying to market to your audience, then it just doesn't work and it doesn't fall together. The reason why you've had success is because you follow through with your message and what you're trying to achieve. And that's where you see the greatest results.
Yeah. Yeah, there's many links in the chain, right? Between the
That's
ad,
right.
Even as far as the funnel, the website. I've even seen it with clients where they've ticked all those boxes, but when somebody calls the business to book in, they get some Griselda answer the phone who's a nightmare and they're losing conversions there.
The sale stops there, right? Like it doesn't get any further.
Do we have bad internet today? Yeah, we do.
Must be the metal plate in my head.
So as soon as we have a guest, we have some questionable internet. All right, so we have somebody, but before we get there, I've got a question that was sent in to me. I want you to speak into this because I think it's good. Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, well, let's patch Rachel through.
Please be kind to me, Rachel.
Don't be kind to him, Rachel.
Oh.
Rachel, it's Wez Hone. You're on Kingdom Business TV.
Hello.
Hey. Hey, why don't we just get straight into it?
I'm sorry.
No, don't worry.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
all
sorry.
good.
Just wanted to excuse my speech because I've just been a dentist, so I'm talking with one numb lip, so it might come out.
You're doing really well, considering.
Bless you.
Why don't... so we've got Dave here. He's listening. I'm listening. Why don't you fire away with your question and see where we go?
Sure. So I wanted to know the difference between the value of boosting posts against ads, and should I try and boost posts to see what gets the best impact and then create an ad out of the best one? I don't know.
I knew I was going to get asked this question straight away, Rachel, and so I've actually prepared this answer
Sorry.
really well for you, hey?
Oh, cool.
I guess the thing is, boosting a post is a path of least resistance, and it's a really good way for a small business owner or someone starting up to get a measure on the success of maybe the copywriting or the creative. The issue that you face with a boosted post then is just maybe not enough you don't have, Facebook's got 10 different objectives that you can target someone. So whether it's for a lead or a sale on an e-commerce website or a messenger campaign, and when you don't have those options, your boost test might not give you the right statistics where if you were chasing the actual objective that you were after. So what is the objective that you're actually trying to reach with that boosted post?
What's the outcome?
I was testing the waters for me as to drive people to my website just to sign up for notifications for the launch, which is very soon.
Sure. So when you boost... Sorry, go on.
And all of my social media is starting to do really well. Wez advised me to start doing videos, which I've done, and they've been really responsive on my website and YouTube and all the other socials that I post them on. But we need to make some ads, I think.
Perfect. So telling me that you're using videos now, Wez is a fantastic advocate of that. Just something little like creating an ad with Business Manager. You can now check those video views. So someone who maybe watched your video but didn't land on your landing page and fill out their information, with a Facebook ad used in Business Manager, you can actually start retargeting people who watched a percentage of that video and get back in front of them. So you might be able to take anyone who watched 25% of that video and show them another ad with a call to action to sign up for your calls or sign up for your launch.
Yep. So just get the analytics and work out the best audience for that.
That's right. So you can start building an audience and being a little bit more creative about who you're actually spending your next round of money on. You might not spend any more advertising budget on the laggards who didn't actually take action. You might warm them up a little bit more before you the analogy of dating someone. You don't walk up to a pretty man in your instance in the street and say, "Will you marry me?" You go through a courtship process with your potential customers.
Yep.
So asking on behalf of Rachel, what do you reckon? How big an audience do we need to get through? So first of all, are people going to sign up to be on the mailing list for something? Is that a strategy that you can see working? And secondly, what sort of, how big do we need to go, Dave, to be able to get that kind of thing to work?
All right. So Facebook has come out and said you need literally thousands of people on an audience if you're targeting them based through interests and demographics, like on a boosted post or in your audience section.
Thousands.
We're talking the more the better. Like 500,000 would be a fantastic number of people to target. Now, Facebook's algorithm does a really good job of showing your ad and your content to the right people in that audience size. Now, if you only have a narrow audience of a few hundred people, Facebook's algorithm has a hard time working out who are the best people to show that ad to. So what actually works better these days is going for very broad audiences and letting the algorithm do the work. And it honestly is getting better and better at doing that.
So is custom conversion ads?
Custom conversion ads, or if we're looking to, if we're trying to get people to sign up for this launch of this business, or if we're trying to get people to give their details up, it would be a conversion ad with, say, a thank you page after the form, so that we can track how many people hit the form page and then how many people hit the thank you page. And we're asking Facebook to optimize for that thank you page. And the more and more of them that we get, the better the algorithm works out who's going to be the potential person to fill out that form.
And my market can be very broad because it's all women over the age of 12 up to the age of 90.
I would 100% go women over the age of 12 to 65 plus in your target area. So whether it's Australia wide, and maybe put one layer of interest targeting on top of it. If you only want Christian women, use people who are interested in the Bible, and that's it. If you're chasing women who are keen to shop online, I would be finding one target, and that is it. Let the algorithm do its thing. The scary part there is you're going to spend a lot of money before it actually starts working, but when it works, you'll get a return on investment like crazy.
Mm. What were you going to say, Rachel?
My key market is actually disability.
So
my product
along
is
the lines of
a
NDIS
bra, one-handed.
work.
Yeah.
Cool. You can target NDIS in Facebook advertising, and we do it for a few customers now. And it will help you find the carers, it will help you find the people on NDIS, and it will help you find anyone interacting with NDIS on a daily basis.
So the female demographic between 13 and 65 plus would be 8 million.
8 million. Layer on
NDIS.
NDIS.
And you're probably down to...
And we actually did this exercise 2 days ago, and it's about 2 million people in
men
Australia.
And women, so
that was men and women.
Yeah, so you're down to 1 million people audience. There's
your audience to play with. And I would test with that audience ongoing. And we talk about internal influencers and external influencers in Facebook advertising. So you need to start with your internal influence once you've got that audience. And that's your headlines, your copywriting, your creative assets like your videos and images. And once you've found what internal influence is working well, start working out how your external influence is working. So that might be the audience that you're targeting isn't succinct enough, or you've got to change a few things around. But that internal audience is always going to be your first fallback in your creative and your copywriting and your landing page message.
Yeah, very good. Rachel, you're awesome. Appreciate you calling in. Hopefully your lip gets a little bit better, and we'll catch up with you soon. Bless you.
Thank you. Bye.
Guys, do me a favor, hit the share button on the show. Hit the share button. Let's get more people watching in. That would be great for me. And by the way, if you've got a question, I want it on here. I want you to put, just send us a message or put in the comments below you've got a question. One of my team will reach out to you and get you on here. Specific questions. It could be completely about your industry, could be about targeting, could be about budget, could be about the copy. Should I use photos, videos, text? We want those really specific questions of yours, and we want to get them on here because I reckon we might have some answers for some people on the stuff that has or has not been working. So reach out, send a question through, or put a comment below. One of my guys are going to reach out and we'll get you on here, and that'll be super cool. All right, so here's a question I've got, right? What are you seeing as being better between the algorithm or me uploading my database and doing a lookalike, if you had to pick one of the two?
So broad, if I had to pick one of the two, in 2019, letting the algorithm do its thing.
Because I reckon that's the opposite to, say, 2017.
100%. It's really, as of November 2018 is where I would have comfortably started saying that. But in saying that, you're going to burn money until it starts working. And you could burn through everything that you thought you needed to spend before it'll work. But once it works, it will work like nothing you've ever seen before. Now, part of that would be maybe Facebook ads are a bidding. They're an auction, right? You are bidding to try and get your ad shown above your competitor's ad. If someone else is trying to target the exact same audience than you and has a bigger budget than you, your ads will show lower than theirs. So you need to let the algorithm do its thing, and you need to be prepared to adjust your bid manually and write it out for a couple of days, knowing that you're going to bully your competitors out of showing their ads and get yourself elevated higher than them.
Okay.
And you're
I
going
like
to spend
a little bit of
money.
argy-bargy.
You are going to spend money to do it, but after 3 or 4 days, it magically gets easier and you can drop your budgets back down.
I mean, we've seen that, right? We've seen, I remember last year when we had the whole run of data, we were putting out marketing for KBS, and the acquisition cost on day one was like $27. And then on day two, it was like $25, $24. And then after, I don't know, day 5, it was like $13.
100%.
Because it's worked out. I got the pattern here. I know who to put it in front of.
And that comes back to the conversions that you were talking about before, right? So it's working out and seeing who's getting to the thank you page after filling out that form, or who's getting to a confirmation page after a purchase on an e-commerce store, or who's getting to downloading an app. And it gets cheaper and cheaper as the algorithm works out who is the ideal person.
Nice.
And it's scary accurate.
Yes, I'm sure. And probably only ever going to get better.
Yeah.
Give us your questions, gang. That way we can get them answered on here. They could be anything about your audience, your creative, what you have and haven't worked and things like that. What do you reckon? Like I remember KBS in 2014, we basically filled the room with one static image that had the KBS logo and I think one little bit of text like bought tickets yet or something, and we filled the room up with that. Obviously, we've changed big time. How important do you think creative is? Should we be spending money on creative, big money, and video, text, or written? What do you reckon?
All right, perfect. So in 2019, my number one hint for you in that regard is you need to, text-wise in your copywriting, call your audience out. In the first paragraph, mention who it is who is your ideal person. Hey, home renter, or do you have a dirty air conditioner? Call that person out. Then follow that up with a couple of dot points of how you're going to fix their solution. So your ad should be saying what's in it for your customer. Do not talk about yourself. Then the last part of that would be giving them an incentive. So we will give you your outcome. We found out who you are, we've given you a solution, and here's what we're going to do about it. So that's the copywriting. As far as creative, don't spend a fortune on videos. Grab a digital SLR, do your own video, unless you're a multi-million dollar company who should be expected to have branding extremely well done. Run with what you can produce. Now, Craig and Wez give plenty of hints about cheap audio that you can use, good video cameras and good digital SLR cameras that you can use. Run with that. My number one takeout on creative for 2019 is test everything. You could have exactly the same audience and show a still image and a video ad, and half of the audience will be optimized to see the still image and half of the audience will be optimized to see the video. That could go as far as, if you've seen those carousel ads where it's multiple images or videos, a carousel ad with just images might reach 20% of your target audience. You then you duplicate out and do exactly the same thing, but put a video as the first tile, and you'll reach a different 20% of that audience. So you'll reach a part of your audience that was actually untapped by the image only version.
So you're saying try all of it.
Try everything.
But do you reckon there's room? Do you reckon there's an argument for somebody who's sitting here not doing millions? They're doing $100,000, right? And of course, they could go and get a digital SLR and stand in front of a white wall and get some slightly tinny audio. Do you reckon we are at the point where it's worth going, actually, I'm going to bring somebody in, I'm going to spend $2,000, I'm going to story tell. Let me give an example.
Sure.
One of our mutual friends is Chicken Caravan, right? So these guys make caravans for chickens. That's it, right? That's their USP. So Dan could stand a camera with one of his units in the background and go, here we are, and here's one of the things, and here's the 9 features. But they didn't. They did a video that was like, it starts with the camera's in the grass, the sun comes up at 6 a.m., you can hear a rooster, and then they story tell through the day in the life of a chicken, right? What would you expect between those two videos on Facebook? Because irrespective of strategy, that's got to have better cut through.
That's a hard question because I know the answer for both of his videos that he tries. Look, in the real world, cut through, there's a thing called ad block these days, and ad block isn't a platform. It isn't something you can put on Chrome to block ads. Ad block is people tuning out as they scroll through. And for you to get someone to stop scrolling with their thumb on your ad, a well-produced video that you might spend a few $100s will do a better job than holding an iPhone in front of you.
Yeah.
Pay the money, even if it's an intro and an outro for a video, pay the money to do it professionally where you can, and your cut through should be better.
Because obviously anyone can do the phone thing, and I think we should do that. Like, I do it all the time, right? But I think there's something to be said for the creative. I really think there is. And,
100%.
And most people skip over it. And I think, like, for example, let me give you another for example. There are people out there that are paying $1,000 a month, for example, or less or more, to have somebody create lots and lots of content, and they're putting out stuff every day on social media.
Yep.
They're spending $1,000 to produce quote cards that no one reads, $1,000 to produce short bite-sized stuff that's boring. Would they be better off to go, I'm going to not put out daily content, I'm going to save up 2 months worth of my daily content budget, have a really well-produced video and turn it into an ad?
Yeah, so what we do there would then be coach that person, produce a really nice long ad that might be a few minutes long, but design and script it so that you can pull out little 15-second snippets, and magically you've now got 2 months worth of content from producing one decent length clip.
So a bit of double dipping.
Double, triple, quadruple, dip into that thing as much as you can, and then let it ride for 2 months and dip back into it again. And you'll know what works then, and you'll know what to produce next time.
Nice. I really like it. So we have a caller.
It wouldn't be an episode without Craig doing something with it.
Craig's just climbing around in here, doing his thing. I've got a bunch of questions on socials. We can come back to these, but who have we got here?
Tell them to message us and we will call.
Well, don't we have someone? Who are we ringing?
Yeah.
Stacey.
Stacey.
Hi, Stacey speaking.
Stacey, it's Wez Hone. You're on Kingdom Business TV.
Hi, how are you going?
I am salubrious. How are you?
Just smiling.
Good.
Let's change that.
Hey, Stacey, I've got Dave here from BidPixel. What question have you got for us today?
I want to know if it's a good idea to do Facebook ads into a closed group.
Nice.
So I'm a part of a closed group that's got over 6,000 members, nearly 7,000 members, and I have a service idea that I want to market to them. Is it worthwhile doing Facebook ads just to that group, and will it work?
All right, so I'm going to get really deep, really quick on you here. You cannot do paid ads into a closed group on Facebook, Stacey. So it's actually physically not possible. But let me get deep right now. You can share videos whenever you like into that closed group, can't you? You can be an expert in your industry and share your knowledge and get well-received praise from helping this group out with some video content. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't think admin would approve it though. I think it would come down pretty quickly.
So all you're doing is being an expert and sharing a video of what is fantastic in your industry. You're not selling a thing to them, Stacey. You're just giving some free advice and helping people.
Because surely just by being seen in that group, more people are going to want to go back and check out Stacey.
The beauty about it is though, so where I'm getting to is, if you create a video, you're not selling a single thing in that video, but if you create that video and you first post it onto your Facebook page, so your business page, if you have the opportunity then to share it into a group, you go to your Facebook page and you share it into that group, and you've provided content and valuable content to help those people with their questions, and magically anyone who watches that video, just like we were talking to the last caller, you can start retargeting them based on their video views. So all you're doing is being an expert in your industry and giving away free advice on a video, and you're targeting people who watch those videos into an audience to use for your own benefit later.
And it's coming from your business page, right? So they can come and find you anyway.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter that I'm personally in the group. I'm not part of the group as a business. I'm just personally in the group.
No, so we actually teach this strategy, and we do it ourselves quite well. So we infiltrate, for lack of a better word, small business groups on Facebook, and I will, for 90 days, just answer questions about Facebook. I will answer any question like I'm doing today, but my answers will be via videos, which I've put onto my wall first. And that then gives me the chance to retarget them on those video views. So we're very careful though. We're not selling anything. We're just giving them advice.
Okay.
So, and then what you're saying is you have the ability.
Thank you so much.
Just hang on, Stacey. What Dave's saying is, so you have the ability to produce some good quality content for somebody, put it into that group, then come back later and say, whoever watched 50% of my video in that group,
I will show an ad to them.
I can remarket to those people.
Remarket and show them an ad in their general Facebook or Instagram wall.
So you catch that, Stacey? So you can then go back and say, whoever watched 25% of the video I put inside that group, I want to remarket to them outside that group and straight onto their newsfeed.
Okay.
That there is the kicker.
That's it. Like, you haven't sold a thing in that group, yet you've got them in this audience.
And but now you've got them out of the group.
You've got them out of the group, and you're showing them an ad while they're scrolling through Facebook or on Instagram or on Gumtree or Oprah Winfrey's website. Suddenly they're seeing that Oprah Winfrey is a Facebook partner. Suddenly they are seeing your ad for that product or service that you physically weren't allowed to advertise in that group.
I love it. That's the big distinction. That's the big distinction. The fact that you're not just putting content in there to be seen. That's one level. Your content in there to be seen, plus you can remarket to those people
100%.
Outside the group. That's a kicker.
I reckon we grew the first 25% of our business using that strategy.
Love it. And it costs you nothing.
Cost us nothing.
Well, the remarketing
Time.
does, but the initial...
$5 a day remarketing.
Yeah, I love it. Stacey, you're awesome. I appreciate you calling in.
Cool. Thanks, Stacey.
Thank you.
Guys, if you've got a question, I can see a bunch of you guys have put questions in the comments. What I need you to do is I need you to send us a message and put your phone number in there. Nobody else will see it, but one of my team will see it, and they'll reach out to you and get those answered, all right? But I need you to send us your phone number for us to be able to get hold of you. And so while we do that, let's scenario something for fun, right? Let's say I'm a chiropractor in Sydney and I've got a good website and I've got $2,000.
Sure.
For ads.
Sure.
How would you tackle that? Like somebody who's never run ads before, they've got a little bit of a budget, they've got a good website and a great message. Let's say they are unique in their own way. How would you tackle that? What would be your strategy?
All right. So the first thing that we'd always go through with a customer is that uniqueness. Like, you aren't unique having full insurance and being open 7 days as a chiropractor, right? You have to be unique enough in that you're different to every other chiropractor in 10 kilometers of you.
Yep.
Now, once you've got that uniqueness and you've got that selling proposition, you need to then come up with some sort of offer that's going to get someone to click through. Now, that offer might not be straight away trying to get someone to book in for a treatment. It might not be a free consultation before you book in for the free treatment. It might be in the form of some educational material that just genuinely calls out that audience and gets them clicking through for some more information. You could advertise the 5 shocking things that fixes a back, or the 5 unanswered questions that people have with back pain for years, and warm them up. That dating analogy again, court your potential customer without physically asking them to book in for an appointment. Now, once you start to warm them up, you can start to push them towards that website and ask for a consultation or a session with them.
Okay. So would you just go straight out and blow the money on a high level ad straight to booking, or would you go some of the budget, high level, drive them to a page, keep half the money back as a remarketing strategy for those that went there?
In a service like that, we would be, depending how much brand awareness there is for that company already, we would be reserving maybe 5 to 10% for a budget for remarketing. And that would always be
5 to 10.
5 to 10. You only need $5 a day if you're a smaller business looking to get people back in front of you.
Nice.
The lion's share of the rest of that money would then be going towards getting ads in front of your target audience. Now, if you're brand new and you've got no brand direction whatsoever, or you're 30 years old and have no brand direction, we need to make sure that we're warming up that audience first. So we date them a little bit first before we ask them to book an appointment with you. Once we're happy that we've dated them, we're going straight to their father and asking them for their hand in marriage.
Nice. How do you get around the Facebook blocking that, are you in pain? Can't have that. Do you have a back problem? Can't have that. How do you get around those restrictions with copy? Because they can't call anybody out.
Yeah, look, the biggest thing with, especially the chiropractic industry, or anything that you can't do before and after, or let someone know that you're going to heal an ailment, is you can, in a roundabout way, still teach them about healing an ailment without making a promise that you're going to help them. So you can still educate them on how you can fix the issue that they may have.
Give me some examples. Could you do a video like this? Could you get your client do a testimonial and go, what was it like? What's it like now? Tell me a bit about it.
So in Facebook ads, you probably wouldn't do that, let alone in that industry. They physically aren't allowed to recommend testimonials. So APRA, which is the governing body, just wouldn't let that. So sorry for that. But you would start going through, like I said, the 7 effective things to prevent back pain, and 3 of them might be chiropractic services. The rest of them are home remedies that you may be believing. Stretching it
at
out.
your desk and
that's it.
Okay.
Playing sport, but you're not physically calling them out and saying that you'll fix their ailment. You're teaching them how they may be able to do it themselves.
All right, so you're joining me in 4 cities for the summit. Obviously, you don't want to cover anything redundant. Tell me, how are you going to wow the people that have put their hand in their pocket and trusted me to teach them how to do business?
I guess one of the biggest things I'm going to do is unpack everything that has worked for us across multiple industries. Like we added up the other day 102 different industries or niches that we've successfully run ads in. So I'm going to unpack a lot of those in what's worked, but I'm also going to teach people what didn't work. Now, I could get up on stage and tell everyone all this bright and shiny stuff of what is amazing, but I'm actually going to show people where we've made mistakes as an agency and where maybe some of our customers have made mistakes in the past. Because one of the quickest ways of learning, right, is by example. So I'll show you some bad stuff, but I'll also show you some pretty cool stuff.
So you're going to peel back the curtain and we're going to see.
I will peel back the curtain of what agencies probably don't want you to know.
Nice.
And then I'll have my team there to answer your questions.
Love it, love it, love it.
I've also got a hook for you. So I'm going to discuss probably the best marketing campaign in history. So this one marketing campaign brought in over 2 million leads.
What industry?
Finance.
Is it?
It's by a guy named Louis. It was in the 1950s. And he just happened to have this bright idea for some direct marketing in a newspaper. And it was by a little company called Merrill Lynch.
Oh, I know them.
So
Struggling little American
finance company, just after one of the depressions or just after one of the big crashes in the market over there, and no one could sell shares to the consumer. There's one guy called Louis came up with a system that sold 2 million or gathered 2 million leads and turned Merrill Lynch into the company that it is today. So I'm going to teach people that as well. And it's something that a lot of people have forgotten about these days.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And how that relates to Facebook.
And how that relates to Facebook, because it's a direct correlation, even though Facebook was not even a thing back then. Zuckerberg wasn't even around.
No. His parents, maybe,
were around.
All right, so let's answer Rebecca's question from here.
Have you got it there, have you?
I don't. I can't even see half the questions, but I got another one here for us.
Yeah. Rebecca, I really want to help you today, so we're not going anywhere.
All right, Rebecca says this. I've been trialing a Facebook ad and my budget is $2 a day. During the last 2 weeks, the ad reached just under 3,500 people with 76 clicks. So the result rate is $1.81. Sorry, it's 36 cents a click. What should I do to improve it? The ad is using a photo only.
That's such a hard question to answer, and so that's where this
pick a scenario and answer it.
So I would say you're getting pretty good results, but if your objective is to get people to contact you once they get through to your website, is that happening due to those clicks that come through? If it's not, let's talk about that internal influence and talk about your copywriting, your message, your image or your video, and try to change that. Now, the hard thing is, Rebecca, if those statistics that you're getting, I guess you need to look at that customer acquisition value and that lifetime customer value. If you're paying mere cents to get someone through to your website, what are they worth to you over time if you can close them and sign them up? And I guarantee whatever you're offering is well and truly better than than 36 cents per click. You just need to work out how to get them through the funnel further so they give you their information. Anything in this world is worth spending 36 cents to get someone to click through. Just work through the final part of that. And then scale, and spend more than $2 a day.
What can Rebecca do with the 76 clicks?
That's a tricky one. Now, if you've got a pixel on your website, if they've landed on your website, now a pixel is that little bit of tracking code that tracks where people interact with websites and online. If you've got that pixel on your website, you will be able to then retarget them and warm them back up to try and get that commitment out of them. So you might have got them through to your website and they didn't take action. Only 3% of people ever want what you're selling. 3%. 25% of people have an interest in what you're doing, but maybe aren't ready to purchase. So putting an ad back in front of them is a fantastic way to actually get back in front of that person. Now, the rest of that percent, which is about 50 or 60, high 60% of people have no interest in what you're offering right now, but you can warm them up and show them what you've got. And that's where Facebook advertising is really good.
Because you can walk with them over time.
You walk with them over time and spend very little to get them there. So those clicks that you've got, retarget them.
Okay. I really, really like it. I really like it. What would you say to somebody who's in a regional town with maybe 50,000 people? Because what you just said before was you need a massive audience, algorithm works it out. Some people are like, well, hang on a minute, I live in a small town. That's why it doesn't work. What can you do with local area marketing?
Cool. Depending where regionally you are you getting tourists driving through? Can you offer a service to people passing through town? Can you target people in the next town over, knowing that they're going to be driving through your town in the next couple of hours or days? If you're a small business like a cafe or maybe an appliance store, a small audience means you can speak louder than your competitors. And I guarantee in that small town, very few dollars is going to get you in front of that whole town very quickly. And 99% of the time, your competitors aren't doing that. You will gain a brand reputation very fast. So do it. Get there and get in there and do it.
So it's less about the algorithm and more just about forcing massive brand awareness.
Force brand awareness when no one else in that small town is doing it.
Yeah.
100%.
Driving people to an outcome, remarketing over time.
And count your blessings that you're not in Sydney, because it would cost you a fortune to do that. All right?
We'll try that.
Different person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another caller. All right, this is the hard one that I can't answer. Come on, guys.
Very good. Do we have a name?
Joel.
Joel?
Joel. Surprised my staff haven't tried to call up yet and get me.
Gazump you with a fake name.
No, Joel. Joel's not coming in either. His question wasn't hard enough.
Here's his question.
Really?
All right, Joel says, when you create a video to promote a product on Facebook, do you have any ideas on how to structure the video, like an intro, an offer, and what to put into the intro? So you've got like 3 seconds to get their attention in that video. You need to call out who you're trying to get to watch that video. So if you are looking for a first homeowner to purchase a house, you need to call out, are you a first homeowner looking to purchase a house? Like literally. Then what you need to do is educate them, or what's in it for them. Answer those 3 pain points that they have about your product or service. So go through that exercise. Ask previous customers, what is their pain point? What problem can you solve for them? And that's going to make up the body of that video. The last thing is give them that irresistible offer. What is going to set you apart from your competition, and what is going to get them to click through to find out some more information? Be remarkable there, because plenty of people aren't remarkable and plenty of people don't get their ads clicked on.
Nice. Nice and succinct. So, gang, episode 14 of Kingdom Business TV, we have had Dave from BidPixel. He's going to be joining me in Melbourne, Sydney, Gold Coast, and Adelaide for the summit, which is going to be super cool. And I mean, even he'll just be there the whole time, so you can quiz him during every break. He likes to work, so you can just grab him at any time over those 2 days and quiz him like crazy. I think you'll have one of your team with you.
I'll have a team member with me at every event. I'll be in the networking sessions with you. I'll be hanging around, like pick my brain while we're there, because we're there to serve you and help you with your questions.
Awesome. And you're going to be covering different stuff to what you just did here with me.
100%.
So that's it, guys. If you do me a favor right now, what was the one thing that sparked for you? What was the one thing that was like, yep, that was really cool, I got it? Something really small, really big, doesn't really matter. Put that in the comments box for me. I'm going to read the comments as they come in. I want to see what it was. It's a bit of feedback loop for us as to what the stuff is that's popping for you. So, all right, Dave, any final words for this amazing Kingdom Business TV audience?
Now, you harp on every summit
Calm
that
down.
I've been to. You're harping on about Facebook advertising, and you have to do it. Now, I've been around plenty of people that just don't think it works. It's going to work differently for every business, right? And when you harp on about just getting ads out there, it might not be for generating leads. It might not be to sell $1 million worth of product. It might just be that brand awareness in that small town speaking louder than your opposition does. You could spend $5 a day and do that effectively. You honestly do just have to do it, but you have to do it right, because it's really easy for a small business to get on Facebook and do an ad, and that's why a lot of small businesses are getting on Facebook and doing ads, and 80% of these ads fail. So train yourself. There's YouTube videos, there's lots of free courses. Facebook has this thing called Blueprint, where you can pretty much learn how to do Facebook ads for free, taught by Facebook. Be remarkable, be different to your competition, and Facebook ads will work for you.
Right. What's your favorite scripture?
Matthew 5:5. Blessed are the meek, because they will inherit the earth.
What does it mean by meek?
Teachable.
Blessed
My interpretation, blessed are the teachable.
What does it mean by inherit the earth?
They're going to kick ass with Facebook ads.
Guys, thanks for watching on. It's a real blessing to me that you would dial in. Put your comment in the comments box for me about which bits popped. Share the show so that other people can see it. And I'll see you at the Kingdom Business Summit real soon. And I'll see you back live here Thursday, 3 o'clock.
Bless you guys.